Today is the last of the 7 systems every Plantscape business owner must have. And this one is the capstone of all your business systems. And it's the one most neglected. It is your leadership system. Come on.
It's the Plantscape Business School Podcast. This is the podcast for growing not just beautiful plants, but thriving plantscape businesses. Here's your host, longtime Plantscape business owner, systems nerd, and small business innovator, Brad Miller.
The leadership system. And friend, ideally, this is not a 10 or a 12-minute podcast. This is a 1 hour or a 2 hour across the table, face-to-face, over coffee or a glass of wine, where we're talking about your visions for your life and for your business. You see, a leadership system really gets to the essence of who you are and what you want your life to look like. It reminds me of that quote from Mary Oliver. It says, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life?" It's about vision work. It's not just about your business. It's about your life. What do you want your life to look like? And leadership and your leadership systems, it's more of a journey than a destination. It's a passage even from amateur to professional. I love the idea of going pro. It's a lot of the interior work of what do you think about and what's your vision for your life and how you work with people, whether it's your clients or your coworkers. It's really the work of becoming who you were created to be. And it's a big part of why I started Plantscape Business School, an outshoot of Miller Marketing and Training. It is the essence of working on your business by working on yourself. My journey over 43 years in the plantscape industry, it really is understanding that starting and growing a business, it's the essence of becoming a leader, because it will take everything that you've got. And that's a good thing, because it really taps all of your potential to start and to grow a business and to get to the next level. One of my favorite books is called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And the front cover has got this picture of this little fishbowl with a goldfish jumping, and he's jumping into a big fishbowl. And so that's what a leadership system does for you. It really helps you to take the big leap into your zone of genius. And that's a term that Gay Hendricks uses in his book. Your zone of excellence is good, but that's not where you should land. The zone of excellence is not where you end up. It's the final leap into your zone of genius. So when I think about leadership systems, that's what I think about. I also think about Dan Sullivan, who talks about your unique ability. You have something very unique that you bring to your company and to this industry. So it's about finding your voice, your unique voice. And the true work of a leader is working on the business. And it's hard, and so it's the one that most business owners reject. But without a leadership system, you become the lid on your life and the lid on your business. That's from John Maxwell, leadership expert. He talks about the law of the lid. And the business will never grow beyond the leader, because the leader becomes the lid. You become the bottleneck. And I love that idea of you become the bottleneck, because when your business is smaller, you were the leader and you're leading and things are really happening and moving. But there comes a time when the business gets bigger than your vision, and the size of the company really determines the size of the leader, and vice versa. The size of the leader determines the size of the company. If the leader doesn't grow, you, me, then the business cannot grow. So the leader is the lid or the bottleneck. So we're going to talk about 5 guidelines. And that's what I like to really think about, that they're just guidelines. These are simple guidelines to get you thinking about what it is for you to be a leader. So I want to challenge you to think like a leader. Use these 5 guidelines to imagine a business that works without you. That's our goal. So number 1 is weekly leadership time is scheduled. Meetings are celebrated, they're timely, and they're useful. Friend, I really believe that meetings have gotten a bad rap, because if you look at any of the execution systems that are out there, I'm meaning like EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, all of the different system execution companies like that emphasize a meeting cadence, meaning that your meetings are regular and they're scheduled. It was a game changer for us at Interior Plantscapes when we really made weekly meetings a priority, and that weekly leadership time is scheduled. It's scheduled and it's celebrated. And that time with your leadership, it's not a time of criticism where you're just pointing fingers, but it's a time of fun and encouragement, and it's an opportunity to just really dig into the details of your company. So the weekly leadership time is a time where you're coming together. It's timely. We would take 90 minutes. It was every Thursday morning, started at 9, ended right at 10:30. So it was timely. People could schedule their day and their other appointments and meetings around it. It was useful. There was an agenda. There was assigned to-dos, and you showed up with your to-dos done from the previous week, and then you would report in. It was an opportunity to look at the data, the things that we talked about a couple of weeks ago in financial systems. So not just your financial data, but all of the data, all the different dashboards. And so you as a leadership team, you're looking at this information, your KPIs, which is the thing that we're going to talk about next. You look at those and you're making decisions. And that weekly cadence is a game changer for you as a leader and your leadership team. Number 2 guideline is your company-wide KPIs are reviewed consistently, and they're either rewarded or you're fixed. You see, that's the beauty of that weekly meeting. You have this list of KPIs, your key performance indicators. So again, it's your dashboard of your financial numbers, it's your dashboard of the other metrics, the key performance indicators. And you as a leadership team, you're looking at these and you're not brushing the issues under the rug. You're looking at them, you're spending some time to really go deep, figuring out root cause, which is a practice in itself. And your team is really getting into the nitty-gritty of what's going on. And without the weekly meeting, there's not an opportunity to do that. So a real focus on key performance indicators. Number 3, and you're going to love this one, your systems are documented. They're used and they're continuously improved. And I'm not going to pretend that this is the first time you're hearing about systems and that you know that you need systems. But most small business owners' systems are in their head. And if your systems are only in their head, you are the system. And so your company can't grow. You can't lead with your systems inside of your head. So again, think about yourself as the visionary, the entrepreneur, not the technician, not even the manager, but the entrepreneur who has the vision. And your vision said, this is how we do things here. And that's something to be celebrated. It's not like you're Mr. Bossy Pants or Mrs. Bossy Pants. It's going, no, this is the vision that I have in my heart of how we can just really serve our marketplace in a unique way like no one else. So the idea of writing your systems down, We're going to spend a lot of time in future podcast episodes about some of the best practices for writing systems down and documenting them. And there are some amazing tools and apps that have just been game changers. So do your systems live inside your head? And again, if they do, you don't have systems that can help your company because no one knows about this amazing way to do the business. You become the bottleneck. But if your systems are documented and they're used as training tools, you give people power. They can operate your company confidently and they can operate it without you in the business. That is my own journey. It was an E-Myth journey. Michael Gerber, the whole idea of thinking about your business as a franchise prototype, like you're going to build 1,000 more just like it, even though you have one. That's how to think about your systems. Number 4, quarterly planning actually happens. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because this one really deserves its own episode, maybe 2 or 3 episodes. The whole idea of getting rid of annualized thinking and thinking about your company quarterly. And I read a book, it was a game changer for me. It's called 12-Week Year. And it's that whole idea that you think about 12 weeks as 1 year. And there's such power in that quarterly thinking. It's about creating your big rocks. Not your 12 big rocks, but your 1 or maybe 2 big rocks. And then you create all the to-dos around that. And your quarterly planning shows up in your weekly meetings. And that's where you report in and you assign. But those all come from the quarterly meeting. And the last one is the business. Your business could operate for 2 weeks or 2 months without you. I got to tell you, the first step is to actually believe that that could happen. Your business can work without you in the business. You can be a business owner. You're not an employee in your own business. You're the business owner. You take off the tool belt. Friend, you take off the physical tool belt and you take off the mental tool belt. You become the leader. Your work quote unquote, is more and more thinking work. You're the visionary. Yes, it's hard because you were an amazing technician and you still have that technician mindset. But again, you're not a technician anymore. And again, you're not the manager anymore. You're the entrepreneur. You're the visionary. You're creating a business that works, and it works without you. Here's the hard reality. Your business either works for you or you work for your business. Ouch. I know that hurts, but that's the reality. You want to create a business that works without you. These 5 guidelines were just that. They're guidelines to get you to begin to think like a leader. Your leadership system is the essence of who you are and what you want. What do you want for your beautiful, one, wild, and precious life? That's up to you as the visionary and as the leader. And friend, you can make it happen. You can be the leader of your company that works and works without you.
Thanks for listening to the Plantscape Business School podcast. If today's episode helped you think differently about your Plantscape business, share it with a fellow owner and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. For tools, training, and resources to help you build a business that really works, visit PlantscapeBusinessSchool.com. Plantscape Business School. Uncomplicate your business and expand your life.